Having prescription medication for crap hits the fan obviously can be life-saving. But what do? It's so expensive, and doctors will not write prescriptions ahead of time. So I would like to introduce to you Ozio Medical. Finally, a prescription service we can all afford. But before I go through each of the pharmaceuticals included in their pack, I want to let you know I am a physician. But even though I am a physician, I am not giving you medical advice, nor am I telling you to take any of these pharmaceuticals. You must talk with the Ozio medical staff and their doctors to see what works best for you. All right, so here we go. 11 pharmaceuticals you can get from their pack. Number 1, azithromycin, or simply just a Z-Pack, brand name you may know as Zithromax. A very, very common, effective, and popular antibiotic, I must add. And what it does is it stops the proteins that bacteria need to grow. Stop the proteins, the bacteria can't grow. That's how the antibiotic works. Now, understand that respiratory infections kill over 2 million people a year around the world. 2 million people. And that's what Z-Pack does, is it stops respiratory infections. Also strep infections, middle ear infections, sinus infections, and even skin allergies too, skin infections, I should say. But obviously, having azithromycin or a Z-Pack in there is number 1. Number 2, amoxicillin clavulanate. Amoxicillin's generic name you may know as Augmentin, and clavulanic acid or clavulin. Another absolutely essential antibiotic that must be included in everybody's pack. Amoxicillin, what it does is it actually blocks the cell wall production for the bacteria, so the bacteria can't grow and reproduce. But bacteria, they're smart little buggers. So what they do is they actually put out an enzyme that blocks amoxicillin. So when you take the clavulanate, or clavulanic acid, what it does is it blocks that enzymes from the bacteria, so therefore it makes the amoxicillin more effective, makes it work much better. So we put it together in this pill, a huge must for crap hits the fan. Next up, metronidazole, or you may know it as the brand name Flagyl, another absolute must when it comes to preppers, because you may find yourself drinking from a stream, you get a parasite, a bacterial parasite in that stream water, and guess what? Now you have a stomach infection from this. This antibiotic will stop that stomach infection, because understand, without it, it may lead to nausea and vomiting, diarrhea, dehydration, so you drink more of the water, and the cycle continues until you very well may die. So this antibiotic will stop that parasite, because having these stomach problems is a huge, huge thing. Also gas gangrene, by the way. You actually have a lack of blood perfusion to a limb, maybe a finger or a hand, whatever the case may be. And bacteria, a gas gangrene, it's a Clostridium bacteria, will take an infection in there. It is so difficult to kill. This antibiotic will kill that, but I'll tell you right now, the dose you'll find in this pack isn't usually enough for that, because that's some serious, serious antibiotics over a long period of time. Plus you have to debride the tissue and stuff. But anyways, just another thing it's used for. But when it comes to stomach parasites, something you must include. Next up is Sephillexin. You may know as the brand name Keflex. It's a cephalosporin antibiotic. This one also inhibits bacterial wall production, so therefore they can't synthesize the bacterial wall, so they can't reproduce and grow. Lots of different things. One is otitis media, a middle ear infection, respiratory infections, urinary tract infections, skin infections, even bone infections too, by the way. But same thing, you need a really long course of this antibiotic to go for bone infections because they're so serious. But some of the minor ones I just mentioned, it absolutely will take care of that for you. Number 5, doxycycline, or you may know as tetracycline. This is an excellent, excellent broad spectrum antibiotic that takes care of a wide range of diseases, even parasites too. Specifically, it's good for urinary tract infections, respiratory infections, again, which can be so deadly, eye infections, cholera, Lyme disease, even anthrax. But listen, one bottle in this kit's not going to take care of anthrax, but there's a lot of things it will take care of being a broad spectrum antibiotic. All right, there you go. There's 5 antibiotics for you. Now let's go through the 6 other essential drugs found in this pack. Number 6 is Celecoxib, you may know as Celebrex. It is an NSAID, a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, so it decreases inflammation. Now, specifically, it's called a COX-2 inhibitor. There's lots of NSAIDs that are COX-1 inhibitors, which have a lot of side effects. COX-2 are better in a lot of situations, so that's what makes this a really great one. So what happens is COX-2, long story short, in your body will produce prostaglandins. The more prostaglandins you have, the more inflammation and pain you have too. So this specific NSAID is an antipyretic. It'll get rid of fever. It's an analgesic, get rid of pain, excellent. And it's an anti-inflammatory NSAID. Therefore, it's prescribed often for like arthritis and menstrual cramps and stuff. But it's an excellent painkiller, anti-inflammatory drug in your kit. Number 7 is Benophen. Generic name is diphenylhydramine, or you simply may know the brand name of Benadryl. It is an antihistamine, which is great because it takes care of upper respiratory allergens and hay fever. You know, you have allergies enough on there, it'll actually make you feel like you're ill. It sometimes goes along the same pathway as your immune system does. So you sometimes can't tell if you're sick or actually have allergies. And of course, some people have major allergies, which can be problematic because maybe you're bugging out or trying to get home. So a good drug to have. Decreases watery eyes, decreases nose running, etc. Some people even actually take it to help them relax and fall asleep, which again will be helpful when it comes to crap hits the fan. But we don't in our family do it for that purpose. But taking it for allergies, oh yeah, it's a huge thing. Number 8, Leeramide, or you may know as Imodium. It's an anti-diarrheal drug. Specifically, we call it a traveler's diarrhea drug because, we go to Mexico and drink the water and we get the parasites. Now, why don't Mexicans get the parasites? They do. Their body's used to it and the immune system can take care of it. So in America, we don't have that. But guess what? Crap hits the fan. You may have crap hitting the fan or your local water source. And suddenly now we have parasites. So having this anti-diarrheal drug in your kit is so important because when you get the diarrhea, you get dehydration. You drink more water, even more dehydration because of this. And eventually, again, it can be catastrophic and deadly. So having Leeramide in there in your kit is a huge thing. You must have this. Next up, a Nanatron. Now this one stops people from having nausea and vomiting, which is a huge, huge thing, even if you don't like to nausea and vomit, but it was originally designed and still used for people like on chemo, which will cause them to vomit quite a bit. So taking this specific drug will stop the nausea and vomiting. Let's say you have that for whatever the case may be. Think of any reason you may have that. Again, the nausea and vomiting will make you more dehydrated and can be deadly. So this drug in your kit will make it so that stops, retain your water and electrolytes too, by the way. Therefore, you can survive just by this drug alone in a lot of cases. Number 10 is Bismuth. The brand name would be Pepto-Bismol. And it's another anti-diarrheal drug, which is good, again, because we don't have the nausea and vomiting, but you still have diarrhea. Again, you can lose a lot of your water and electrolytes, so having this to retain it can save your life. So having this in your kit, another huge one. And number 11 is guaifenesin. You may know as Mucinex. Mucus relief. So you get seriously congested because of whatever the case may be. You take this and out comes all the mucus dripping out your nose. It's excellent for respiratory infections in that situation. Mucus and congestion. Take this guy and it flushes all out. All right. So Ozio Medical, why would we consider this? There's lots of companies out there, but when I show you this, I think you'll see this is the one you want to go with. Because when you look at Jace Medical, look at this, $269 for their kit. Another company is called the Wellness Company. They want $299 for their kit. Or Contingency Medical, $299 for their kit. Or Duration Health, $299 for their kit also. But Ozio Medical, this is fantastic. Their kits start less than $200. Amazing. And look at all the drugs included with this. This is a no-brainer. And of course, they have doctors on staff. They'll hook you up as far as setting you up with a doctor with a consultation to see if you have any allergens, et cetera, that basically go against it. And then they send them right out. It is a no-brainer. Like I said, I would certainly go with Ozio Medical because crap hits the fan. You're going to want to have some of these antibiotics. This is obviously for cases when there are no doctors anymore or emergency services. They very well may save your life. So having this kit in your stash as far as all your prepping gear is an absolute must. Of course, I'll put a link below if you want to go ahead and pick one up. But I would get one today because, especially with things going on with the tariffs and trade wars and shortages that are coming, I would get it now way sooner before later and before we have to look at shortages possibly coming too. Ozio Medical is the way to go. And I'm very happy to have them as a sponsor of our channel. So make sure you check them out and pick up yours today. Thanks for watching, everybody.